The Chemistry of Alzheimer's by Will Morales and Dan Belmont. What is Alzheimer's? It is a neurological disease in which the loss of neurons in the brain causes brain cells to give agitated signals to each other. What causes this disease, do you ask? The main cause of Alzheimer's. The main cause of Alzheimer's is cell death, which is caused by plaques and tangles in the brain. Plaques and tangles are misfolded proteins that work together to break down the brain structures. Plaques. Plaques arise when another protein in the fatty membrane surrounding nerve cells gets sliced up by an enzyme. This results in the creation of beta amyloid proteins, which are sticky and clumped together. This clumping forms plaques. These clumps block signaling and communication to the brain. Tangles. Tangles are built from a protein known as tau. The tau proteins help the brain transfer molecules safely in the nerve cells. In patients with Alzheimer's, the tau proteins collapse, building tangles. These tangles obstruct nutrients from reaching the brain. Brain blast. Alois Alzheimer. Alois Alzheimer was the first man to study the disease by testing a woman in her mid-50s. The woman, known as Augusta Dieter, was suffering from progressive short-term memory loss.
Alois Alzheimer was able to isolate the pathological causes of severe dementia. He worked so diligently that eventually the troublesome disease was named after him. In 1910, the term Alzheimer's was first used in medical books as an actual condition. The two proteins discussed, beta amyloid and tau, were discovered in 1984 and 1986. Stage 1 of Alzheimer's. No impairment. There are no obvious signs of Alzheimer's, and there are no memory problems yet. Stage 2. Very slight memory loss. The patient has few memory lapses and may forget simple words or objects. Stage 3. Short-term memory loss. Losing valuable objects and forgetting recently heard or known ideas. Stage 4. Diagnosable. Alzheimer's can be noticed. One may have difficulty performing complicated tasks. Stage 5. Mid-stage Alzheimer's. Confusion about current location, unable to remember their own address. Stage 6. Severe Alzheimer's. Having trouble reading their own history, tend to wander or become lost. Stage 7. The most severe. Lose ability to hold a conversation or talk, muscles grow weak, may lose the ability to smile or sit down without help. Every day, thousands of dollars are being donated to help researchers find a treatment for this fatal disease.
To restate, Alzheimer's is a progressive disease that destroys memory and other important mental functions. Plaques and tangles, the main cause of Alzheimer's, are caused by the buildup of proteins known as amyloid beta and tau. Amyloid beta proteins inform peptides of 3643 amino acids. These peptides result from another protein known as APP, which then gets cut by certain enzymes to form amyloid beta. This cycle continues to constantly form new amyloid beta proteins. Amyloid beta can combine to form soluble oligomers, which may exist in several forms. These misfolded oligomers, also known as seeds, can trick other amyloid beta molecules to take the oligomeric form, which can lead to a chain reaction, which are toxic to nerve cells. Characteristics of amyloid beta is its insolubility, high changeability, and its inability to crystallize. Not only is amyloid beta the main protein involved with Alzheimer's, tau proteins collapse, causing the buildup of tangles. Tau proteins are found in neurons located in the brain. These proteins' main job is to control the stability of the brain's microtubules. Microtubules help transport nutrients and other important substances from one part of the nerve cell to the other. When these proteins collapse, they form the tangles found in Alzheimer's patients. When plaques and tangles work together against the brain, Alzheimer's will definitely appear in the associated patient. With Alzheimer's comes many risks and symptoms which slowly become obvious to the human eye. Throughout the stages of Alzheimer's, many obvious symptoms begin to appear and should be taken note of. Some of the more known warnings include disorientation, memory lapses, trouble speaking, writing, making decisions, planning, and knowing location. Over time, these symptoms constantly worsen, causing changes in behavior and mood. Some examples of these changes are depression, anxiety, social withdrawal, and delusions. Patients with these or other symptoms usually have about 8 years on average to live with this dreadful disease.
Alzheimer's is a genetically developed disease, which means that it can be passed down from generation to generation, in which most of its cases are caused by gene mutations. This disease can be found in one of 3 genes. These genes are APP, PSEN1, or PSEN2. Another gene called APOE has been known as one of the biggest risk factors of the disease. Once one of these genes are mutated, large amounts of amyloid beta are then found in the brain. Some evidence shows that people born with Down syndrome have an increased chance of catching the disease. Most patients inherit Alzheimer's in an autosomal dominant pattern, which means that a person can obtain the disease by just one infected parent. People who inherit just one copy of APOE have a much better risk of catching the disease. The chromosome which can carry Alzheimer's includes chromosomes 1, 4, 19, and 21. Chromosome 19 carries APOE, which moves cholesterol in the blood and is a cause behind Alzheimer's. Recently, scientists around the globe are feverishly studying Alzheimer's, looking for a potential cure. These scientists have been studying Alzheimer's by looking at thousands of different images of the brains of Alzheimer's patients. They take these photos and compare them with the brains of non-Alzheimer's patients as well. This process is known as neuroimaging. Neuroimaging helps scientists see the noticeable differences between different brains. It is much easier to identify amyloid beta after CT scans and MRIs. Because of neuroimaging, scientists have learned what the targets should be for future drugs. The targets they have are amyloid beta, tau, inflammation in the brain, and the way the brain processes insulin. If they can use drugs to decrease these influences on Alzheimer's, they may be able to find a cure. Lastly, many researchers are not only looking for a cure, but the prevention as well. These scientists are saying that the prevention of Alzheimer's may be as simple as eating well and exercising.